Okay, so in this session, I will introduce you structured binding, which is newly included in C++17. So the structured binding allow us to declare multiple variables initialized from a tuple, STL iterators, array, and struct. You will see a lot of structured bindings in tuples, map, and other STL iterators. So since we haven't done tuples and STL yet, so today I will introduce you structured binding with an array and struct example. So this is the syntax of structured bindings. You put auto keyword so that it can infer the types of identifier automatically. And you put the reference operator here. This is the optional. And identifiers within the square brackets and put expression here. Let's see the structured bindings with concrete examples. So this is the example source code for structure binding. You can see the structure binding here. Let's compile this code first and see the program's output. Okay, the compiler throws the warning because structure bindings are included in C++17. So if you specify the C++17, the warning will goes off. So if you specify the C++17 version like this, when you compile the program, the compiler warning will remove. So there's no warning here. If we learn this program, so this program produced this output. So let's see how this output is produced. So here we have int types of array A with 2 elements, 1 and 2. And here we declare the, we are using a structure bindings, auto, and there's no reference operator. I said that is optional. So we put identifier within this square brackets and put the array here. So this lines binds the elements of A's array, which is 1 and 2 to X and Y. So when we print this X and Y value, it prints 1 and 2. Now let's look at the structure binding in line 10. The differences between line 9 and 10 is in line 10, there is reference operators. So in this case, the array A's elements reference are binds to these identifiers. On line 9, the value of array elements are mapped to this X and Y, binds to this X and Y. In line 10, the references of arrays elements are bind to XR and YR identifier. That is the differences. So if we change this XR to 3 and YR to 4, this will also changes to the value of A's arrays elements. So this 1 will change to 3 and this 2 will change to 4. So that is the reason why this line, the A0 and A1 print 3, 4, because the value is updated to the 3, 4. And XR and YR is also print 3, 4. But as you can see here, even though XR and YR is changes to 3, 4 respectively, X and Y the value of x and y are still 1 and 2. This is because that the address of x and y is a difference to this address of elements in the array. So here, the value of 1 is copied to another address, and x is pointing to that address. So for same for y as well. So 2 is copied to another address of memory, and y is pointing to that another address of memory. So even though you update this value of A's elements or XR and YR, it does not affect the X and Y value because X and Y are pointing to different memory. So let's see the another example of structure binding. Now we are using a structure binding for Struct. So this is very same for the array. The syntax is same. The only difference is that we pass the struct, not array. So since we did not put the ampersand here, so the value of 1 is copied to another memory locations, and I will point to that memory, and the value of variable d, which is 2, is also copied to the another memory address, and d will point to that memory address. So if we compile this program, it will print 1 and 2 because 1 and I and d is referencing to the memory location which are stored, which the memory location stores the value of 1 and 2. So let's compile this program and see the result. So as expected, the output of this program is 1 and 2. So if we don't have struct bindings, so these lines of code is same as this one. So if we don't have a structure binding, we need more lines of source code for doing the same thing. So for this example, because struct only has 2 elements, we only need 2 lines of source code. But if it has more elements, more lines of source code will needed to make the same effects of structure binding. So structure binding makes simple code and easily understandable code. Okay, so for today we learned about the structured bindings. You might not clearly understand when we should use this structure binding, but once you learn about the more advanced features like map, tuple, and STL iterators, you will understand that structure binding will make the code simple and easy to understand. Okay, that's it for today. So see you next time.